So do you see like music as your way out?
Yes, it's like the most consistent thing in my whole life, and like the only thing that I don't get bored of. Like,
Did you get bored easily?
Oh, like that so quick.
Really?
Like I'll start loads of things that I want to do, like loads of ideas, and then as soon as that like adrenaline like wears off, not interested, don't care. Like stop and start so many things. Music is literally the only thing that I fall back on every time. And like you like, bro, I feel music in my chest. You know what I'm saying? Like,
in your soul.
Oh yeah, yes, it like keeps you alive.
And is that with the same with people as well? Do you feel like you feel bored of people as well?
Yes and no.
Yes and
like
no.
Yeah, because like I don't know, I can get bored of people really easily, but it depends on
the relationship you have with them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank God you finished that for me. Yeah.
No, that's okay. No, I feel like I understand what you're saying. So, do you want to? No, let me rephrase that. Would you do anything it takes to make it in the industry? So obviously, you know the whole like sell your soul. Doesn't do that.
No.
Okay. Imagine this. You're on the up climb of your career. You're about to get to your peak, and you know you're in the top of the music industry, and the big bosses of big labels come to you like, look, we can make you globally famous, and do all this, but you know you need to be like a devil worshipper. Would you quit music doing that? If you realize the real truth of music, because obviously
I do realize the real truth. I'm not looking to get signed by a label.
So you want to stay independent?
I'm looking to be an independent artist.
Okay.
That is, like I have knowledge on that stuff. Oh shit. I have knowledge on that shit. I've researched it all. You know, I don't think you ever stop learning about it either.
No, you don't.
Like years in, like I think like 2 years ago was like a bit longer than that actually. About 2.5 years ago was the first time that I kind of started to go down the rabbit hole.
You can't avoid it.
And then that was it. And I'm glad that I did though, because I feel like if you're not woke on it when you want to go into the music industry,
you're naive to it, aren't you?
Yeah, and you're more vulnerable.
Yeah,
like
exactly,
you gotta be on your shit.
No, listen, I fully agree, but this is why Matchbox exists, because I've seen all that shit, and I've always said to myself, okay, with my music, if I'm getting to myself to this career, and I'm getting to myself to a point where I've got enough influence and stuff, and someone comes to me, oh, yo, you know, we can cut you this deal, and you know, X, Y, and Z's gonna happen to you. We'll make you famous. We'll make you rich. I'd be like, safe. No, listen, my soul, because it's worth £1 million, £10 billion. What? It's not even worth any money on planet Earth.
Worth nothing. Because with everything. I mean,
it's
but worth no money.
No, it's not, because when I die, I don't want my soul to be tainted. I want to be a moral kind of, you know, a perfect example of a human being I can. So when I pass away, my soul can transcend to wherever it needs to go.
Soul can go home.
Yeah, it can go home.
I agree,
exactly. I don't want it to be tainted by evil. Do you know what I mean? Because there is lengths of human evil out in the world, like right now. Like, yes, we live this nice life, but there is real human evil in the world, and I do not want my soul to be associated with it. Do you know what I mean? And I will happily stop doing music if it
comes to that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So like, if you got to that point, you were on your way up, and then they just turn around and say to you, look, if you want to grow bigger, you need to, you know.
But the thing is, I'll tell you that, but that's not the truth anyway. It's all, you know, your mind is your limit. Do you know what I'm saying? It's all on you.
No, I definitely agree. I'm glad you've said that, because I do sometimes wonder, like, what I speak to and thinking, would you sell everything you stand for a bit of fame and riches?
But it's not just like selling your soul, it's the sacrifices that come with it. Like, do you know, like, it depending on different people how deep they know into it, like they have to sacrifice people, you know, their
loved ones,
you know, the top artists, you know, they sacrifice fans, they sacrifice it happens, like, it's so real. I ain't doing none of that shit. We're pure over here.
So do you, obviously, I recently found out, like, you're a mum as well, so you got a son as well, innit? You know what I mean?
I have. I got a baby.
That's adorable. Do you do a lot of your music for your son as well? Like, do you want to make sure you get the best life you can to provide for him the best way possible? Would you say
100%?
Yeah.
So like, before I had my child, I'm 23. Since I left school, I've had like 28 jobs, because
I know the vibes.
It's so hard. So anyway, before I had a kid, I'm job hopping here. Someone spoke to me like, shit, I'll be like, see you later. Like, I'm just not doing it. I couldn't stay anywhere longer for more than a couple months, and that would be like a stretch as well. And then I had a child. I left my relationship, and I was in like a bad place, and that's when I started like proper delving into music again. And then that is when I decided that I actually wanted to give everything I've got to music, because one, I wanted my kid to grow up seeing me do something happy. You got one life, and you got to chase your dreams. And at that point, I was going through like some mad spiritual awakening. Like that's when my brain was just like changing, and I was like, it's actually possible. Like I know it's actually possible.
I actually really rate that, because I think behind the scenes you're actually an incredible mum. I actually think you're an incredible mum. Behind the closed doors and everything, with your son running around, I actually think you're an incredible mum. Because with everything you're doing, I think at the end of the day, you want to, because like when you have kids, because I deep this all the time. Like to me, I want like 5 children. I want a big family. But then I'm also thinking, okay, I need to make sure I can create a life where I can cultivate to that, I can provide for that. Because when you have kids, it's not just about you anymore. It's about, you bringing up another human being. They're depending on you. So you need to make sure you're like at the best that you can be to give them the best life, teach them all life's lessons properly.
But you'll never be ready. You're
probably I've heard so many people say
for real,
that.
Like there's nothing that could ever prep you.
There's no like parent rule book.
Like you could read every book, and you're still gonna like have some mad brain awakenings at point. You know what I'm saying?
See, I for me, I don't mind that. Like I don't mind not being fully ready. I just want to be financially secure, so I can.
No, I completely understand that.
Any problem that comes along, babes, I got it. It's no worries, not all.
Yeah.
I'll deal with it. I'll deal with it. You and I, let's make sure our children have a cultivating, friendly home environment where our children can grow up and be prosperous and happy. Because to me, I know when I have children, like my children are gonna be so important to me. They're gonna be like my life, and I want to make sure that I do everything now, with everything we're doing right now, so I can give them that life. Because I always go on about this. Like I feel a lot of problems in our society, all the stabbings going around England and shit like that. I think it stems from the home. How many friends do you know that say, "Oh, I'm going to my mum's tonight. I'm going to my dad's tonight." The divorce rate's 52%. Like loads of people are coming from broken homes. Do you know what I mean? And it is sad. And these children are growing up with a lot of pain, and then that pain kind of transmits into society as well. And that's why you're having all these roadmen youths hanging out McDonald's at 15, 16-year-old with fucking machetes. I'm like, what are you doing, man?
But that's also because I'm, headstrong conspiracy theorist. That is also down to the government.
Facts.
Because
facts,
the government want to break up the home. They want to break up the home.
Yes. I agree.
The women's liberal movement was literally funded so that they could tax all the women. Before the women working, they're only getting taxed off all the males. They send women to work. Now they're getting taxed off everybody, and they're indoctrinating the kids in school from young. Like I'm gonna homeschool my kid. Like, I'm not sending my kid to school. Are you mad? But when you become woke,
the same thing.
If you go through a mad spiritual awakening, you become woke about stuff that's going on in the world and how corporations run and how everything is run. Yeah.
The elite.
If you still want to send your kid to school, then to me, I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Do you know why? Because obviously they created feminism, and listen, I'm all for equal rights. I'm all for equal opportunity. Exactly.
Equal opportunity.
All for equal opportunity. However, feminism isn't really about equal rights anymore. It's about female superiority over men.
Slamming men, like hating men, like
no. But
it's mad.
But it goes deep in that. Like this whole like men versus women is all bullshit. Men and women need each other. We need each other. The same as black and whites. And
masculine and feminine energy in everything.
It's yin and yang. It's a yin and yang. It goes together like a carpenter. I can't even say the word, but it goes together. And what you're saying there is completely facts. Like they want obviously the man working, and now women are now working in their jobs. So the children are home alone, looking at all the news and looking at all the things, being indoctrinated.
And birth rate is plummeting.
Yeah,
we don't have a crisis of overpopulation.
It's underpopulation.
I literally only learned about this one. Literally like 3 weeks ago, I was watching Elon Musk talk about it, and I was like, what? And he was talking about like China's birth rates have been like the lowest in however long, even though they're encouraging them to have kids. And it's because the women aren't wanting
children
anymore.
But
and like each to their own, but it's the system that we're brought up in that makes us think that way.
Exactly.
So you might think people listen to me and they think that I'm wrong or whatever, but that's because your perception has been altered by what we're growing up in and what we're living in.
It goes very, very deeper than that. Like, people have been raised with this perception of what they believe is reality, which they think, okay, yes, this is the way of the world, but then the actual truth of it is a lot deeper and a lot darker. And when you come along and we talk about all this and you smash that person's reality, they can't comprehend it. They can't. And
it suddenly means that everything they know is a lie.
Exactly.
And then it's overwhelming. If you told me 3.5 years ago all the stuff that I know now, I'd have literally called you a liar.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd have literally called you. I would have been the same. I'd have been like, are you mad?
Yeah.
But when you learn it and then uncover it bit by bit, and the thing is, when you try and talk to someone, obviously you've got to try and cover everything to make it believable. But then by covering everything, it's too overwhelming. And like you say, then they have everything's a lie, and it's too much for them to handle. But when you like discover bits and you discover more and you discover more, and then you're unraveling it, that's when I think it becomes more true.
Where do you think the term ignorance is bliss comes from? That's exactly where that comes from.
Yeah, I agree.
People would rather cling on to the false reality.
But there are times where I wish I didn't know any of it, because sometimes, like when I deep it, I get hella stressed about certain things, and I sometimes wish, like, God, I wish I just didn't even know, so I could just.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah,
exactly.
But knowledge is power.
No, but yes, exactly. And I have always said to myself, yes, ignorance is bliss. I would love to just live this life, do my thing. However, I don't want to live in a Truman Show. I want to know the depths. I said that really, depths.
Jeez,
I want to know. We're getting deep here, guys. I want to know the depths of human evil and the control on the world, because I want to have a real understanding of what's going on so I can navigate this world we live in, because it is a crazy world, and you want to make sure you do everything you can for your family, and you need to protect them in the right ways if possible. Like, would you agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.